Hello, I'm Laura Marshall.
And I'm Ashley Rice.
And this is Light Matters for November 21st, 2012.
On this week's show, we'll reveal the finalists in the 2013 Prism Awards. We'll also look at some research stories, including QCLs powered by heat, a photoswitch that affects nerve cells, and exploiting the caustic effect to produce images.
It's that time of year again. Photonics Media and SPIE have announced the finalists for the 2013 Prism Awards for Photonics Innovation. The Prism Awards honor innovation in photonic products and inventions that break with conventional ideas, solve problems, and improve life through the generation and application of light. The Prism Award finalists for 2013 were announced late last week, and this year's slate includes sensors for monitoring environmental toxins and detecting explosives, powerful new lasers for manufacturing, and tools for non-invasively imaging deep inside the brain. Here are a couple of last year's finalists talking about the experience and its importance to their companies.
Last night, to be in a room filled with some of the most brilliant people, for sure in this industry and quite possibly in the world, just to be nominated was an honor. In fact, the presenter for our category, Mary Lou Jepsen, was Time Magazine's one of the most influential people for Time Magazine in 2008. So to be even introduced by her is an honor. To win the category of detectors, sensors, imaging, and cameras is unbelievable, especially due to the width of this category and the possibilities that there could have been.
We were really going up against a number of companies that are factors of 10 to 20 to 100 times larger than ours. We're a very small company, and so for us, it's actually a very outsized impact. It's validating not only our innovation strategy, but also highlighting the types of products that we would like to bring to market and our capability to do so.
This came as a real surprise to us, and we're just absolutely ecstatic about being a part of the group of the folks that were nominated. It's very, very special for us.
There are 27 finalists, 3 each in 9 categories, including scientific lasers, life sciences and biophotonics, defense and security, and industrial lasers. And we have some returning nominees this year.
Yes, we do. OE Waves won last year and was a finalist in 2009. KM Labs was a finalist in 2011, while SpecIm Spectral Imaging, Aerotech, and Olympus America were all finalists in 2009. Linden Photonics won in 2009, and IPG Photonics won in 2010. One first-time finalist this year is Continuum Lasers of Santa Clara, and here's Scientific Marketing Manager Carmel Caligaris talking about their entry.
Here we have an optical parametric oscillator that gives us a tuning range all the way from 192 nanometers to 2750 nanometers, now into the vacuum UV, which we think is very exciting. The other thing that was very important was the complete package. And as a company, Continuum has built YAG lasers and OPOs for many years. We come with the complete system, but not just the YAG and the OPO. We also provide now, within the horizon itself, the availability of signal, idler, UV, and near UV, or vacuum UV, in order to get that whole access range. Everything is computer controlled. Everything includes wavelength separation, so there are no options. It's the complete solution.
The 27 finalists represent 6 countries in Asia, Europe, and North America. The winners will be announced during a gala held during SPIE Photonics West 2013 in San Francisco.
Quantum cascade lasers generate a lot of heat. Normally that heat shuts down lasing in the QCL, but researchers in Austria have found a way to harness that heat to power the device instead. Light amplification in QCLs is achieved through a repeated pattern of specifically designed semiconductor layers of diverse doping through which electric current is running. While looking for ways to reduce heat generated by the process, 2 physicists from the University of Innsbruck theorized that the heating effect could not only be avoided, but in fact reversed and even used to the laser's advantage. To do this, they cleverly modified the thickness of the semiconductor layers. If the cold and warm areas of the laser are separated, electrons could be thermally excited in the warm area and then tunnel into the cooler area where photons are emitted, they said. This would produce a circuit where light particles are emitted and at the same time heat is absorbed from the system. Between consecutive emissions of photons, a phonon would be absorbed and the laser could be cooled. A phonon is the quantum mechanical description of a type of vibrational motion. The researchers said the presence of phonons could end up being sufficient to power the laser without electric current. The theory was published in Physical Review Letters.
Light-sensitive molecules that stimulate a neural response in the cells of the retina and brain could be the first step toward overcoming degenerative eye diseases or quieting epileptic seizures. Scientists at the University of Illinois at Chicago are working to develop such molecules which, when injected into the eye, can find and attach to inner retinal cells and then initiate a signal that is sent to the brain. Macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in people over 50, is caused by loss of light-sensitive cells in the retina, the rods and cones. Often, the retina's inner cells still have some ability to function, but the rods and cones are the broken link in the chain. The new approach bypasses the lost rods and cones by making the inner cells responsive to light. The researchers built new compounds on the anesthetic agent propofol, a small molecule that binds to a receptor protein on nerve cells. The receptor is ordinarily activated by the neurotransmitter GABA to open a channel in the membrane of the cell, initiating a signal that propagates to other nerve cells. The researchers added a light-sensitive chemical component called MPC-088 to the propofol molecule so that when struck by light of different wavelengths, the molecule changes shape and functions as a light-triggered on-off switch for these receptors. The findings were published in Nature Communications.
A new algorithm based on a well-known natural optical phenomenon called the Caustic effect makes it possible to paint images using just light and a curved surface. The technique holds potential for automobile headlights, projectors, and architectural applications. The scientists who developed the algorithm at École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne in Switzerland tested it by transforming a simple transparent acrylic plate into a molded surface that, when a light is directed through it, produces a coherent image of the face of Alan Turing, a British mathematician and the father of modern computer science. It isn't magic. The only thing at work here is the relief on the plaque's surface and the caustic effect, which the scientists have succeeded in bending to their will. This effect is easy to observe and can be explained by light refraction. When light rays hit a transparent surface, they continue their trajectory, but they're bent as a function of the surface geometry and optical properties of the material. Light passing through does not distribute uniformly, but rather gets concentrated in certain points, forming some zones that are more intense and others that are more shaded. The researchers studied these distribution principles, identifying the curves and undulations they would need to give the surface to direct the beams of light to a desired area. From this, they developed an algorithm to precisely calculate the trajectories to form specific images. The research was presented this fall at the Advances in Architectural Geometry conference in Paris.
Well, that's it for this edition of Light Matters. Email us your comments and suggestions at lightmatters@photonics.com.
You can also share or subscribe to Light Matters by clicking the Share with Friends button on our video player. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.